What's going on, guys? Tom-Westerholm here from MassLive.com. I'm going to talk about 5 things that you need to know about the Bucks and Celtics series, which starts on Sunday at 1 p.m. Make sure you check out MassLive.com/Celtics for all of our coverage. First thing we should talk about is Jaylen Brown. Jaylen Brown has been unbelievable this season. Nobody really expected him to be a shooter like this coming out of Cal. The guy couldn't even make college three-pointers. Now he's shooting 40% in the NBA. He's really proven himself to be a rising two-way player. The Bucks have a lot of wings like Brown who can do a lot of different things. Celtics are going to need him to guard everybody from Giannis-antetokounmpo to Chris Middleton to Malcolm Brogdon to Eric Bledsoe, and that's going to be a really tough assignment. But Brown is one of the rising stars on this team, and he's going to be super important. If he can put up the kind of numbers that he's been putting up over the last little bit, especially from behind the arc, he had 21 points in the first quarter against the Washington Wizards. If he puts up those kind of numbers, the Celtics are going to be in a great position to move on. I talked to Jayson-Tatum in Washington, and we were actually kind of both laughing about the he's only 19 stuff that's been going on all year. But either way, the guy's really young, he's incredible, and he's having an unbelievable season. He would be a Rookie of the Year candidate, maybe the Rookie of the Year leader in most years. This year there's Ben Simmons and Donovan Mitchell. That's a tough group to overcome, but he's been incredible all year. He's going to be super important for the Celtics. One of the things that's impressed me the most about him over the last little bit is the way that he's turned himself into a pick-and-roll scorer. He can go around screens now, he can handle the ball a little bit. He doesn't lose it as much going up. That was a whole problem earlier in the year, was that the ball would just kind of squirt out of his hands and he didn't really know what to do. But over the last little bit, he's really proven himself as somebody who can get to the rim and who can just jelly fam right around everybody, and who can use that length, kind of the same way like a poor man's Giannis. Tatum's not quite that long, but he's similarly skilled in that he can put it off the glass from weird angles and still finish. Jaylen and Jayson are both going to need to be switchable defensive options who hurt the Bucks with their ability to guard multiple positions. Somehow, everybody skips over Al Horford when they talk about the Celtics, and it's been that way since he got here. Horford has been crucial this season, especially against the Bucks. He tortures them on the offensive end. He can really attack mismatches. He uses his strength. First game of the season, he really just took it straight at Thon Maker. Thon Maker really isn't in the lineup anymore, but the Bucks do have a lot of skinny big guys who he can really kind of bully inside, and who he can hit his little jump hooks. He can use his post moves. He can just really do damage that way. He's also obviously a great passer from the high post, and he's hitting over 40% from 3, which is just crucial for the Celtics for their spacing to have him out there for pick and pop jumpers. Defensively, he does as well as maybe anybody in the league on Giannis-antetokounmpo, and that's a tall order because Antetokounmpo has turned himself into this elite finisher, one of the best finishers we've seen in years. And Horford just takes the hit to the chest. He's strong enough to absorb that, and while he's not as quick as Giannis, he has great footwork and he finds the angles to cut Giannis off when he's going to the basket. He just makes everything difficult. That's not to say he's going to shut Giannis down, because that's impossible to do. But if Horford can make it tough on him, he can turn a layup or a dunk into a hook shot from 5 or 6 feet away. That's going to make a big difference because the Bucks rely on Giannis for everything. And if Giannis can't quite do everything, the Celtics are going to be in a great position to win. Every time Terry Rozier plays basketball these days, you can see the money counter that he's going to get in free agency just running straight up. Rozier's going to have a really important job. He's going to have to try to contain a couple of different point guards. Malcolm Brogdon's tough, smart, strong, heady kind of point guard. Eric Bledsoe is just blinding, blazing speed, and Rozier's going to have to try to match him with his blinding, blazing speed. He's pretty fast as well. So the biggest thing for the Celtics is they need Terry Rozier to hit his three-pointers. If he's making shots, they are really tough to guard because they can have Rozier shoot, they can have Tatum shoot, they can have Jaylen Brown shoot, and all 3 of those guys can attack off the dribble as well. So if you put Rozier into a pick and pop with Horford, who by the way can also shoot, then you've got 4 guys who can space the floor and 4 guys who can get to the rim and score around the basket. That's tough to stop. That's why Terry Rozier is so important to this team. With no disrespect meant to Marcus Morris or any of the other guys coming off the Celtics bench, the last guy we're going to hit on here is Aron Baynes, because I think he's going to be crucial against the Bucks. When Aron Baynes and Al Horford are together on the floor, the Celtics have a 95 defensive rating, which is staggering. Stretched out over an entire season, that would be the best defensive rating by over 6%. Baynes and Horford are just really tough to score on because one of them can take a hit, he can rebound, he's not afraid to be dunked on at all. Giannis has tried to kill him a few times, and every time Baynes just lets him bounce off. And the other guy is Al Horford, who is kind of a Defensive Player of the Year candidate. He's been incredible this season. Like we said before, moves his feet, contests, can rim protect a little bit. And those 2 guys can really box out and make things a little bit easier for everybody else on the glass, even if they're not putting an end to the possession themselves. One of the things Baynes does really well, surprisingly, is guard Giannis-antetokounmpo. Again, Giannis is really strong at this point in his career, so Baynes can kind of contain that. He's not as quick-footed as even Horford. Antetokounmpo will be able to go around him, but he can't go through him, and that's crucial. If you make Giannis kind of swerve around you like a bunch of traffic cones, that's a lot easier than if he can just go straight through your chest like you're not even there. Prediction time? Feel free to throw this back in my face on Twitter, @Tom_NBA, or in any of our Celtics coverage. You can drop it into the comments, masslive.com/Celtics, or you can do it right here on our YouTube channel. Subscribe and give this video some likes and maybe help us out a little bit in exchange for mocking me for probably being wrong, because I'm wrong a lot. This is the ideal matchup for the Celtics. I think that they can do a little bit to contain Giannis. I think that everywhere else, they've got the pieces to keep the Bucks in check and to maybe shut them down a little bit. So I'm going Celtics in 6. I think the Bucks can take 2. I think Giannis by himself can take those 2. I think that it's just so hard to stop him that, you know, maybe he goes off for 45 one night, maybe he goes off for 30 and 16 and 12 another night. The guy's really, really good. The Bucks, less so. They got crushed on the last night of the season. They're coming into this series with just some of the worst momentum you can imagine. And I just kind of don't trust this team at this point. So my pick is the Celtics. I think they're going to take this one. I think they're going to move on. I think they're going to probably face Philadelphia in the next round. And if they do, the internet is going to burn itself to the ground. Get your kicks in right now while you can. The internet is going to be gone in about 2.5 weeks. Thanks a lot for watching, you guys. Really appreciate it. Make sure to check us out on Mass Live, and we will talk to you soon.